Like, hey guys, GHAZZY TV here with another Diablo 4 video. I'll probably just make this video as we're streaming, but I do want to talk about it. And that is the Paragon board. So you start off with this board, right? And the thing is with the board is that you actually have access to all of the boards from the start when you're playing. This has been confirmed before. This is not something breaking NDA, that's just been confirmed. The thing is, when you spend points in it, you can then access these dual sockets. Now, these dual sockets are they're your glyphs. Now, these glyphs can drop in a magical version, and they can also drop in a rare version. And the thing is with that is that the lower level they are, the lower the radius, and also the modifiers will scale less for you. Now, we have this data mined as well from the Lothric GitHub. But it's very important to point out because it seems to me like a lot of people are planning their trees out where they want to do this, smacking extra points on the side to make sure they can get that extra bonus from the actual rare glyph, for example, being level 20. So the way the glyphs are working is that you finish a nightmare dungeon, and similar to how gems worked in Diablo 3, you'll be able to give extra experience to your gems at the end of a nightmare dungeon. Obviously, this means that bum rushing up to world tier 3 is going to be preferable because that's when that shit starts. Dungeon spamming is obviously preferable to get access to nightmare dungeons. Then you want to sit in nightmare dungeons all the time. That's literally your world tier 3 progression for optimal performance and leveling. That's just the way it's going to be, assumingly. And then obviously what you want to go for is bum rushing rare nodes. Not so much for the glyphs, because you might not have the glyph that you want in the right position when you get there. So that means that when it comes to the Paragon tree, it's better for you to rush these rare nodes, pick up the jewel socket in case you have a glyph that would actually work for you. Smack it in, no matter if it's magical or if it's rare, doesn't matter. And then you keep bum rushing the rare nodes. And the reason for this is that many builds have a very select few boards that actually has a legendary node that is very beneficial. Now, this one we're looking at trying to fix that minion build, for example, and the only two mandatory or big ones that we look for is Cult Leader as well as the Hulking Monstrosity, which is over here. This means that if you bum rush rare nodes like this, and you just pass through it, instead of these extra traveling nodes, literally this traveling here is irrelevant. What I would do is I would take that node and just push it up and fix that respec later when you need to. But bum rush the rare nodes. Get up here, get to the side, get that fucking leggy node, pick up the rare node, go for the next one, rinse, repeat this entire process till you have everything you need. And obviously, some builds will have better scaling, will have more attractive rare nodes than others. So, for example, for the minion nodes, based on what we've seen so far that I can talk about, it seems like defensive stats for minions is something that you definitely want to be looking for. So once you've gotten through these nodes and picked up the Cult Leader, going for things like the Armor Clad on this board would be a very preferable choice to go for because you get minion light, minion armor, and get some extra defensive stats for them. Very attractive. And then obviously moving on to the next part and continuing this bum rushing of rare nodes. You might not have enough attributes to cover all of the bonus stats. As long as you keep pushing for the rare nodes, you're going to have the best efficiency of your Paragon board. And then obviously when you go to the next board, you'll bum rush the legendary node again, assuming it is something that's beneficial for your character. And then later on, when you get that rare glyph that is something you want to use for your build, that's the one you focus on. And once you reach a stage, let's say that you have this one here, it tells me that, hey, I got this one. I'm starting to level it up. Do I have the possibility to fit 40 intelligence in that radius? And I can search for this and see that, well, in this tree, this is 10, that's 20. And if these are now in radius based on the level of this gem, or the glyph, sorry, that's 20 intelligence. I get another 10 here, that's 30. I get another, well, that one's outside, that's 35. That means that in this tree that we're looking at, you only have access to 35 intelligence actually within the radius. Solution? Well, now that I have this leveled and now I'm within the radius, I'll put my goddamn points into that one. Now I have the bonus, right? You have to balance it like that consistently based on the levels and not care about it too much and just focus on bum rushing rare nodes. I think that's very, very important to keep in mind. And also because of the value the glyphs provide, I think that in general, once you're starting to run World Tier 3, it is preferable as soon as you're able to handle Nightmare Dungeons that you do run Nightmare Dungeons for the sake of leveling these things up. I think that's something that is very important to keep in mind. And also when you're designing a Paragon board for your character, I would strongly recommend having 10, 20, maybe even 25 Paragon points left over. Like I'll be rushing to level 100 with my character, and the funny thing is on launch, I will have 4 skill points in the actual skill tree that I won't even have because it's a waste of time in terms of speed leveling to get the renown to that point where I can get the last skill point from each area. So it's even 4, maybe 5. Is it 5 skill points that I'm missing out on because it's just not worth my time invested. I mean, that kind of shows how fast we'll be pushing it. But it also gives you the idea that depending on how you plan on playing on launch, it will tell you how you're supposed to plan your builds, right? But you know, most people won't be bum rushing like a Degen, a no-life Degen like myself and many other streamers and whatnot. I think that just making sure you have fun is important. But again, the tip for glyphs and the Paragon board is to bum rush rare nodes. And if there's beneficial magical nodes like this one here with a max life, minion armor, just pick up all of them and then go to the next one. Don't care too much about the glyphs because they're going to be random. You can't plan ahead too much and just adjust accordingly as you level up, of course. And that's about it. Keep in mind another thing is that the more boards you add, for example, if you look at the board here, this is requiring 260 dexterity. The more boards you add and further away from the start you go, basically, it's going to cost you a bit more. So this node here, to get another bonus 100 armor, is now going to require 430 dexterity. So again, maybe not smart to add too many boards to the list. But yeah, that's about it. We'll smack this up on YouTube for the guys who needs it as well. If you'd like to watch this on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and don't forget to leave a comment down below what you guys think of the Paragon boards system as we know it for now. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, stay safe. Keep rocking.